Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time to inhale that new star smell as we continue with Babylon 5. This time, Season 1, Episode 7, wait for it, The War Prayer. These titles are really good, friends. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time we go live with Babylon 5. And of course, if there's anything that we do, Babylon 5 included, that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. Friends, I think I'm at least 4 or 5 episodes ahead with Babylon 5 over there. So if you're interested, check it out. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time to watch the 7th episode of the first season of Babylon 5, The War Prayer. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go!
Did I not hear some of it when we were both
too young to know anything about anything. We could only feel and wonder what it all meant.
This is a very sweet scene.
It has matured and changed over the years. I finally knew that it was ready last month.
I would really like to know what caused the Minbari Earth War.
Do you regret the choices that you made to be here?
sometimes. Only sometimes. You?
I would be nothing other than what I am.
I need to start learning these names of these actors, but Delenn's actor is very good.
I hope the humans appreciate what riches of spirit you bring them.
Well, if they do not, I shall retire to a dock's house and devote my remaining years to the songs of Hifa.
I think that's the Minbari equivalent of going to the woods and reading Thoreau.
Shall I walk you to your quarters?
Thank you, dear friend. But I am sure your day begins even earlier than mine.
I noticed too that they're on their fingernails, it's like the same pattern that's on their head. It's like creeping out of the cuticles. It's like that blue creep. I don't know if that's like the content of their blood or something, or just markings. It's very interesting and nice little detail.
Stay away from Earth, freak!
What I said before, and we are in the credits right now, this show is fearless. Religion, the afterlife, hate crimes. I mean, dear God. I mean, they do not, I mean, they are here to tell a story. Straczynski, I should say, is here to tell a story, and he's going to tell it, you know? I love it. No fear.
Spinning metal, all alone in the night.
That's one of my favorite lines, all alone in the night. I love when space is referred to like the eternal night.
The year,
It's 2258.
the name of the place is
Babylon 5. Ellison's name's in here too. I must have missed it before if it occurred, but there's a lot of Star Trek alum that seem to have been making their way back into this damn near 30 years later, 25 years later. The War Prayer.
I told her she should have an escort during her stay. She refused.
Mayan could not conceive.
Give her one anyway.
And there was a time, Mr. Garibaldi, when one could walk through Green Sector without need of escort.
I assure you, we're doing everything we can to correct that, Ambassador.
Then you are required to do better, Commander.
I like that. She should be pissed.
This is the 6th attack on a prominent alien in less than 2 weeks, all with the same MO. And it's not just happening on Babylon 5. Both Earth and Mars have had a rash of similar incidents.
Home Guard. Pro-Earth. They're nothing but hate peddlers playing off fear and ignorance to turn human against alien. But I won't have it here. Not on Babylon 5. I want these scum, Michael. I want them bad.
I like that.
I have just been informed of the latest atrocity committed by your people.
Love Jakar.
My people did not attack.
Written by D.C. Fontana. Hero, let's do it. Love it.
If any Narn is harmed in this manner, there will be bloody retribution.
And I warn you, Ambassador. Any disruption of Babylon 5 will be dealt with, even if I have to throw the entire Narn population into the brig.
The Narn didn't do anything as far as we know. This is a great way to create instability by it not being that pro-Earth group, like an alien acting like it.
Is there anyone on the station who might have reason to harm you?
Mr. Garibaldi, I create and perform Tila. While a number of them have provoked discussions of some heat,
And then
I have
violence.
never before been stabbed.
Oh, cool looking ship.
Babylon controlled a Centauri liner Carbo. We'll have someone waiting at this end to take custody of the detainees.
That's a Centauri ship? That's awesome.
I found an illegal planter in the garden last week. Someone was actually using our hydroponic system to grow coffee. And as everyone knows, the garden is to be used only for fruits, vegetables,
Mr. Garibaldi.
grains.
I'll go ahead and do it.
I think I'll take a walk, and while I'm out, I might as well stop by and pick up the detainees. You're a vicious man.
I'm head of security. It's in the job description.
Why? She's hijacking hydroponics to grow her coffee? That's interesting.
Susan. Been a long time.
It's been 8 years, Malcolm.
Malcolm.
What are you doing on Babylon 5?
I'm looking for something. Something I never stopped wanting.
Oh boy.
Same old Susan. Duty first.
That's right. Enjoy your stay.
I will not be looking you up.
All right, Sinclair, what is it this time?
I suggest you ask Ambassador Kodo.
Who?
That actress is not the actress from the Wonder Years, is it?
And my cousin Kieran Murray. They just arrived from Centauri Prime today and were taken into custody.
I think it is. Winnie, right?
Can you explain this affront to our noble citizens?
Your noble citizens had stolen credit chips.
What am I supposed to do with them?
You're always saying the Centauri are an advanced race. You figure it out.
I got enough shit going on, says Sinclair.
So, you do take a break every now and then.
This is called stalking.
That was a long time ago, Malcolm. A different place. Different me.
All the more reason to start over.
Well, then how did it end?
Malcolm, it's been 8 years. Let's take it slow, right?
Every time I go grab a smoke, I don't need you hovering over me either.
We don't want to marry anyone else.
We want to marry each other. We love each other.
Love? What does love have to do with marriage?
Cue the Tina Turner. Give me a drink. Make it a triple.
For 1,000 years, marriages have been arranged among our people.
Okay, so that's for everybody.
This is what it means to be Centauri. If you deny this tradition, you lose the very thing which makes you what you are. Do you understand?
No.
But it's so unfair.
Fill that back up.
I got a right to defend myself. You've seen some of the things that walk around this place. Some of them could tear a man's head off.
I know that actor. I'm trying to remember.
Ever hear of the Home Guard?
Yeah, sure. And if you ask me, they got the right idea. It's about time we human beings stood up for our own rights.
This guy's a super red herring. He's coming in way too hot with that. He's way too hot.
This matches my odds. I'll give you over to Minbari and let them play dice with your eyeballs.
I don't know what's worse, damn aliens or the traitors who suck up to them over their own kind.
Get him out of here!
Good scene. That gave us more on Garibaldi than I think we've had yet. That little break where he got real pissed. I like that. This is such a cool sequence. So cool. Now, where are we going to see the person made a light or, yep.
Ambassador Kosh.
Kosh.
Meanwhile, it might be helpful if you spoke with the other ambassadors.
It's so easy for me to get around.
That's quite a viewer. I've never seen anything quite like it before. What is it?
Efficient.
Those are images from my world.
I am studying.
Studying what?
Awesome.
Ambassador?
I think you've been dismissed, Sinclair. That's a cool little contraption, and I'm not sure if that was like that's a cool little, I've never seen that type of flower delivery before. I'm wondering if that is something that they made for the show or something I just never knew about.
When Earth Central assigned you here, did they brief you on what happened when Ambassador Kosh arrived?
You just said a radical organization within the Minbari military caste tried to assassinate him. The Vorlons are very secretive. They don't want anyone to know what they look like, what they breathe, or how their biology works.
Right.
Only person who does know is Dr. Ben Kyle, who saved Kosh's life.
Ben Kyle.
Strangely enough, right after that, he was transferred to Earth to work directly with the president.
Santiago?
Psy-core to scan of Vorlon was transferred back a week later.
You think there's a connection?
Really? Well, we got enough going on here. We don't need a mystery.
What are you going to do? What am I going to do? The only thing I can do. Send them home where they belong and hope they come to their senses.
But they love each other.
What are we gonna do?
These are my 3 wives. Pestilence, famine, and death.
It's the worst picture ever, the last one.
But they worked out. They inspired me.
They inspired me to get the hell away and live on Babylon 5.
Find your little lovebirds and tell them to be ready. There's a transport leaving for Centauri Prime tonight, and I want them on it. If you need me, I'll be in the casino.
The casino is, Ivanova went there too.
The Abaya delegation is preparing to dock.
Have a liaison officer meet them at customs.
We've seen her a lot. She's the tech specialist that sits at the comm desk, I think.
DNA scan showed the blood on his knife was his own, just like he said. He sure fit the profile, though. Real hate freak.
Yeah, he's a red herring.
I think he'll be more useful to us running loose. He's a logical recruit for the home guard, meat-attracting maggots.
Good idea. What else have you turned up?
It's not them. It's not. I don't think it's human.
Out all over the station. Things are getting ugly out there, Commander.
Destabilization.
So if they can turn Babylon 5 into a war zone, everything we work for here will be destroyed. We better wrap this one up quickly, Michael.
I mean, the likelihood of it being the home guard is something absolutely could be, but I think this is a great way to do it if you're not, if you're an alien and you want destabilization.
Tell me, do you...
Dude, I had no idea that was Susan.
leaving me?
Regret?
No.
No.
Fuck.
IO was a great career move. Malcolm, I'm still committed to my career. And you know what that means.
And I can accept it now.
What does he do?
In fact, I've already secured an office and quarters. All I need is a few more clients. I hope that you might be able to help me with that.
What does he do? Did I miss that? I love this. It reminds me of In The Expanse. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Did they kill the kid? He took a shot.
Boy's in a coma. Thoracic wound. PPG at close range. He's in intensive care in Med Lab 2.
Like a plasma burn? Is that what PBG? That wasn't Malcolm when they tore that face off, was it? I saw a glimpse and...
Every means at our disposal.
We really need alien representation on the security force.
We have a good lead in the latest incident, and...
Spare us your usual platitudes, Commander. You know very well why these crimes remain unsolved.
Don't try to out-debate or talk, Jakar. This is his war zone.
So this is your response, is it, Sinclair? So much for Babylon 5's highly vaunted justice.
Wow.
With a charge of inciting to riot. Or you can go back to your quarters and we'll call it a misunderstanding.
I mean, I understand that, though. And, I mean, it's obviously the response that the attackers want to get.
You what who hot? Out of my way!
Ooh. Oh, they're going to kill this guy, aren't they? God, I know that actor from somewhere. It's driving me nuts. He had a child in the role.
What?
He was Data's dad from Goonies.
Ivanova here.
We've had a near riot in Central. I need you in the briefing room.
I'm on my way.
Well, that couldn't have been. He was with her.
Malcolm, out.
Catch you on your next break?
Yes.
Malcolm's not here on the up and up, everybody. Spoiler alert.
We nabbed the perps before they killed him.
Keep a lid on it. This could provoke even more trouble. I could strangle that damn Jakar.
Jakar's right, though. I mean, no private room for this kid?
And if he dies, despite this great power
If
of
he
love...
dies, she will suffer enormous grief.
Yeah.
Her grief a little less.
I would expect such logic from a poet. And a Membari know about Centauri feeling.
Feeling is feeling.
All sentient beings are best defined by their capacity and their need for love.
And she will learn to live without it.
As you did.
Ooh, we know that's bullshit. We know that's bullshit.
I know that man. He was in Ivanova's quarters last night.
Mr. Roberts, I'm Malcolm Biggs.
Is he an attorney?
Alien ambassadors setting policy for humans. Alien workers taking jobs from human beings. Inhuman criminals preying on them. We want to put a stop to that. And we think you can help us.
Well, it doesn't look good.
Tell him I'm not happy about all these aliens forcing themselves on Earth. Groups like this always like to recruit friends in high places. If they accept me, it could give us a chance to nail them all before they do any more damage.
It's not an awful plan, but Sinclair's a little too high profile. A little too high profile. Then again, you had a public dust-up between him and Jakaro in numerous instances here in the last bit, so it might work if they thought, you know, he's fed up or...
Bastard, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Yes. Yes, what do you want?
To tell you something.
You're gonna get attacked, guys.
We cannot turn our back on tradition.
Oh, damn tradition!
Here we go, Veer.
Hearing me die because our glorious tradition values wealth and power over love.
My shoes are too tight. Something my father said. He was old. And he was sitting alone in the dark, crying. So I asked him what was wrong. And he said, my shoes are too tight, but it doesn't matter because I have forgotten how to dance.
Wow.
My shoes are too tight. And I have forgotten how to dance.
That is a great line.
I don't understand.
You will.
Nor should you.
Yeah, or hope you never do, right? Got so much depth to these characters. It's crazy. The little organic episodes or scenes like that are so... Wow, look at that alien. Holy shit.
Commander Sinclair.
God.
May I introduce Milasha?
Designs are so good.
We understand there have been several attacks on non-humans.
This is a setup to make him snap at her.
We have everything under control.
But wasn't a Centauri youth seriously injured just last night?
He'll recover.
That was for his benefit, yeah.
They're afraid they'll be next.
What if they are? I served on the line, and we had a motto there. The only good alien is a dead alien.
I mean, it could work.
I fought. My best friends died. And we won. Not because we were luckier than them, or stronger than them, or smarter than them. We won because the damn Minbari let us win. You know what that victory tasted like?
Ash.
Ashes.
There we go. Nice.
Put Earth first. We must get back to our roots.
It was a good sell, Sinclair.
I want you to meet them. Both of you.
Now, is he a part of the Home Guard, eh?
So I'd like a small gesture to show where your sentiments lie.
What sort of gesture?
Attack an alien. Yeah, this reminds me so much of Medina Station. It's crazy.
Are we really to believe that these humans are simply gone? I, for one, do not accept a word of it.
Neither do I.
Believe whatever you like.
Great alien makeup.
When you feel up to it, Mr. Garibaldi has some questions about the people who shot you. And Ambassador Malari was asking about you. I think he wants to have a long talk with both of you.
Commander, I just heard from Malcolm. He set the meeting.
Where is it?
He won't tell me. He'll meet us in the Zocalo in half an hour and take us there. We're to be unarmed.
Nice.
You will return to Centauri Prime as is your duty. However, upon arrival, you will be met by Andilo Morare, my second cousin, where you will enter into a period of fosterage until you are of adult age.
A fairly common practice in the old days, and though seldom done nowadays, the law still allows it.
Very impressive. I can see you've been studying. Good. You see, Andilo is a very powerful man, and it is a great honor to be fostered by his family. To object would be to defy all tradition. Then, when you are old enough, Andilo will give you permission to decide for yourselves whom you wish to marry.
Even if it's only for love?
If you insist.
That's an interesting workaround, if you insist.
Ambassador. Why?
Because.
I want to dance.
And children should be allowed to dance.
Oh, that brought a tear to my eye. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love it. Love it. Oh, damn, that really got me. I saw it coming too, and it got me. Holy shit.
They're entering cargo bay 5.
Oh, cool. What is that? Some type of, like, body armor? Oh, this is definitely a trap. 100% a trap.
Where are the others?
Already here, Commander.
Oh.
What are those things?
Blacklight camouflage. Developed by Earth Force.
Really?
I'll help any way I can.
We're counting on it. Worth, is the jammer up?
Perimeter secured.
Damn, he jammed us. Let's move.
Don't rush in there.
In 2 days' time, there'll be a mass assassination. In one night, we'll take out the 4 major ambassadors stationed here. Their deaths will be a signal to terminate the ambassadors on Earth.
Wow. What was that called? Crystal Knock? Like, it was a night of broken glass.
Get us into the ambassadorial wing and off the station undetected after we finished.
What was your plan if you didn't have Sinclair?
One more thing. I call it a little loyalty test.
They're gonna bring out an alien and have him kill him. Wow.
Commander, please. I don't know what these. Shut up!
Jesus.
Kill it.
No, please. No, please.
Come on, Jeff.
Jeff.
The scanner, it shows a whole lot of people heading our way.
Oh. You guys should have been a little closer and a lot quieter coming in. This is a good way to get Susan or Jeffrey killed. Sinclair, get down, dude. I know you're a good shot, but...
I wouldn't. Give me an excuse and you're dead.
Jesus, Garibaldi ran quite a ways.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
This is a really, really interesting episode. A lot of wheels turning here now.
Please report immediately.
Make your way to the airlock. You'll be leaving now, but there's no ship out there. This way.
Human ways are often unfathomable. But in time, one learns to live with them.
If one has an exceedingly strong constitution.
See you later, dipshit.
I found many of these people to be more human than you and your kind. But I don't suppose you'd understand that.
I don't know you anymore.
Obviously, I don't know you either, dude. He became a raging racist in 8 years. Oh, shit, that was right into the ending. Man, yeah, this show's cooking. This show's really cooking. You can do a lot of stuff they're putting in here. All right, everyone, we just got done watching Babylon 5, Season 1, Episode 7, The War Prayer. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just got done watching the 7th episode of the first season of Babylon 5, The War Prayer. This one was really... This had a lot of like geopolitical stuff that was thrown in there, and it was done in such a way that I thought it was really interesting. I mean, we got like the kind of like the Minbari like backdrop on like not prayer, but like poetry and kind of sort of like a life approach type of stuff, like ideals and, you know, again, you know, like standards of good living, that type of stuff, you know, kind of speaking to the arts and speaking to, you know, a full life. Really kind of cool approach to like the beginning. Like we had that little taste at the very top of the episode about like, you know, then we obviously kind of swung, you know, a complete 180 over and then went from like, you know, the ideals of, you know, love and acceptance and, you know, ambassadorial arts, you know, where you have somebody going and extending like the poetry of the Minbari to Earth, you know, and that whole type of like kind of like diplomatic approach to the arts and culture was immediately kind of severed by this hate group, you know, where we had all of a sudden we had, you know, this home guard that came forward. really, really well done. Really kind of like a jarring twist, like pulling us out of like one train of thought and throwing us into the exact opposite was really, really cool. But then almost like a bridge to all of that, we had the Centauri kind of like approach to marriage, where we get to see, the arranged marriages, the multiple spouses, that type of stuff. I thought that it was a really interesting way to kind of delve into a lot of specific, backdrops and cultural things for everybody, in a way dealing with love and hate. It's we had like the pure kind of love approach by the Minbari with the poetry. We had the pure hate approach by like the Home Guard, and like the very like nationalistic, I guess, is the best way to call them. But then the again, the Centauri one I thought was very interesting too, because we got an idea that the Centauri were initially explained to us, one, as bullshit artists, where they came forward and said, oh, we're the greatest empire, we ruled the stars, hey, we're related, all that shit that they came up with. But then again, you see the same type of like, we find out later that Centauri is really an empire in decline. Yes, did they have an expansionist phase? Sure thing. But now it's like almost like they're too big. It's like the Roman Empire at the end, when they just couldn't, the provinces, they couldn't even like monitor or guard or protect or anything like that. Very similar. And we saw that at the very top of the series, whenever we had the station get attacked, and, they couldn't even send a response. They just basically kind of, shrugged their shoulders at the Narn invasion and were just like, yeah, we can't do anything. But the point being there is that, even with this kind of like empire in a decline, they still hold fast to these kind of traditions that they had, even though how antiquated they are, where, these arranged marriages done for profit or for power, both, in the absence of love. And again, we spin around to love and hate with all of these different avenues that we're exploring. And I thought that was very interesting. And we had that little bit thrown in there about Kosh too. Ambassador Kosh, like, no one knows what he looks like. Anybody that kind of finds out anything about them is sort of like sent back. And we had mention of the president. And I am now going back through and editing, so I'm getting to watch all the episodes again. I just finished episode 1. I'm working on episode 2. But with episode 1, the election was going on and Santiago won again. So I made notes. Santiago, he's super nationalistic, is what they said. They wanted to like kind of like fall back to an Earth for Earth's sake type of position. And I made note of that. I was like, oh, okay, so this guy's, maybe very, very, maybe a little too pro-Earth. But again, he won the election. So that speaks to, at least, I don't know how they vote, in Babylon 5. But if that's a popular vote, then that means the majority of people on planet Earth might feel the same way as Santiago. So really cool. They're dropping little bits and pieces in here that, again, I don't know what I'm looking for. I just know that you all have told me there's stuff everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. So I'm looking at everything, and I love that. I love that approach, because being able to build off of anything, even if I wander off into the weeds and get lost, it's still super fun. And and you're learning something no matter what about like each and every one of these species. Aliens, I should say. Really, really cool stuff. Again, the Kosh stuff is really interesting to me because, not knowing. Anyway, my point being, not knowing anything about them, anybody that learned, there had Dr. Ben Kyle, and then there was the Psi cop that read Kosh's mind, I think they said, or was close to Kosh or something like that. Both of them were taken and returned back to Earth to serve with the president. That is very interesting to me because it's almost like Santiago is surrounding himself with people that know. I mean, again, this might be a way just to get the information about Kosh, or keep the information about Kosh secret. We're not even sure what Kosh is. He looked like, or they looked like, a glowing light behind that curtain before. I've kind of made a mention that they look like a Medusan from Star Trek, and then kind of inhabited that armor or that pressure suit or whatever, the containment suit, I think they called it. But I'm really interested to see exactly how that plays out because that could go in a number of different directions. And, is there some type of alliance we're not supposed to know about? Is there really, really cool stuff. The only thing about, starting to think about this stuff is I'll get into speculation. I did that early in The Expanse, I still don't like Octavia because of it. But again, I want to avoid doing too much, pushing my chips in on a theory and just kind of go with the broad-based beginnings of a theory for each one. So I'm looking at you, Kosh. I'm looking at you, Santiago. There's definitely something that is at least a potential seed for a story beat there. Really good stuff. Now, we learned more about Susan Ivanova. Again, this whole stuff with Malcolm, it led itself to an interesting backdrop for, kind of having somebody that was close enough to be able to, infiltrate this group and give us the story we needed. But because of that necessity of needing somebody inside the group, his arrival seemed too rushed for me. I really wish they would have brought him in like an episode or two ago and then had this sort of like reached its fruition in this episode. It just seemed too quick for me. Like, oh, he's on station. Oh, there's all these attacks. Oh, he's the guy. Oh, he knows Susan. Oh, okay, we can get inside with him. That was a little too convenient for me. I'm nitpicky. I'm super duper nitpicky right here. But that was a little too convenient for me and a little too rushed. I think that, because they've taken their time with a lot of other stuff, a lot of they seem to rush their stuff with the non-ambassadors. You know what I mean? Like Sinclair is, I kind of sort of consider Sinclair an ambassador too, as far as like who's in charge of the different alien races and everything, the Terrans, it's Sinclair, and then everybody else kind of acts as their ambassadorial head. So I sort of think of Sinclair as one of the ambassadors, not necessarily the commander of like the Earth forces. But like when it comes to the Earthlings, we really don't get a whole lot of them. You know what I mean? We kind of they're there to kind of like take care of whatever the problem is of the day. I'm talking about Susan and especially Garibaldi. I mean, he's just like run around to do all that. I mean, security, he should be, but he's kind of run around to do a bunch of that stuff, in lieu of having something introspective to do. I mean, at this point, I think all we really know about Garibaldi is his second favorite thing in the world is, Looney Tunes cartoons that he watches. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm spinning a little bit here because, you want to try to nail down different approaches, but at the same time, you don't want to kind of get caught into a train of thought that leads you into a different path. And so for me and my money, I have one thing that I'm going back to that kind of as a touchstone. It's kind of like it's a thing to kind of relegate this need of mine to want to be able to theorize and have conspiracies and all this stuff. And that is what our good Narn Jakar said. And he said, and as honestly as you can possibly say a statement like this, nobody on this station, and he named everyone, including Sinclair, are what they appear to be. I mean, myself included. No one on this station is what they appear to be. And I always default to that. Now, like when I'm watching somebody, I'm like, oh, they seem sweet. No one is what they appear to be. I'm like, okay. So everything's on the table for me. I have not identified like specific like motivations and anything for the characters yet. Everybody seems to, at the very least, be on board with their culture, be on board with like, I don't think there's any like traitors with the potential of Kosh potentially. I don't think there's any like traitors in the midst. I mean, I think that, Jakar is definitely with the Narn. I mean, I think that Londo is definitely with the Centauri. I mean, Delenn definitely with the Minbari. I mean, I think that they're solidly in play and definitely supporters. Kosh being the kind of wild card. We did also hear that the 4 big ambassadors on the station are the ones that we just mentioned. I wonder if there are minor ambassadors here though too. And by minor, I mean, I don't know if, maybe potentially not full-fledged members of the Alliance or like the Council or don't have like a voting seat maybe, but there are a ton of other alien races that are on station, I mean, a bunch. I've seen at least 4 or 5. We just had the kind of like the fish, with the salamander fin. I mean, do they just not have the same level of representation as what I'm thinking? You know what I mean? At the same time, there's a lot going on, but we're getting it bit by bit. But again, I'm going to say this. This is probably going to be a theme of mine, a broken record. This team, now I know that Straczynski wrote this, but it created everything. It was basically the driving force of all this. DC Fontana wrote this episode, amazing. But the approach to just the storyboarding of the season is unheard of for me, because we're 6 episodes in, half of our episodes have dealt with live wire third rail themes, the afterlife, religion, hate crimes. I mean, you're getting into, just a question of faith, racism. I mean, and you're doing it from the jump. You're doing it from the jump, which means that you haven't established a fan base yet. Your audience is still, I mean, I would assume that a lot of people are like me. You're enjoying it, but you're not sure who to root for yet. You're not sure like where the motivations lie. So with that kind of nebulous nature, if you're thrown at something that is off-putting to you, like in real life, like, oh, wait a minute, they're going to bring up religion. I hate religion. I love religion. I think this a religion. I think that a religion. All of a sudden you're flavoring your whole opinion of Babylon 5 based on something that might have rubbed you the wrong way because of these hot button issues. Same thing here with racism. Now, I'm not saying that, goodbye to anybody that thought that, oh, I think the Home Guard's right. Okay, well, via con Dios, we don't need you. But at the same time, when you bring in those type of feelings and those types of attitudes early on in the season, you're forcing the audience to start taking a position too. Now, I mean, one as blatantly obvious as racism, you're going to side with the anti-racism crowd. But at the same time, I mean, even the discussion of it, even of the discussion, like right now, the discussion of racism, it's interesting because, it sort of changes the temperature in the room a little bit. Why are we talking about this? This is a sci-fi show. Why are we getting into something like this? It's almost like, let's just not bring that up so we can enjoy ourselves. And therein lies my point. We have a team, however you want to put it together, with Straczynski, with the writer of the day, the director of the day, that are deciding to do these things. And I love it, because when I mean they're risky, I mean you're bringing up topics that will make people uncomfortable to even talk about this. Should we be talking about racism right now? How do I approach this discussion of racism? Automatically it puts people a little off. It makes it a little awkward. It makes it strange. But at the same time, it makes people think. It addresses issues that demand thought, that you can't just kind of like, this, that, or the other thing. This is just sci-fi. I can get past that. No, this is an actual issue that deals in the meat space. It has nothing to do with the genre that it's being presented in. This is a theme of humanity. And again, I think that bringing up those things, religion, afterlife, racism, bringing those things up, it can go two ways, but I think if done correctly, like they're doing it here, it can create such a level of investment that I think your audience is almost kind of forced to really accelerate their appreciation of the show. I sure as shit know that I have, because it's impressive, it's thought-provoking, and whether or not, it doesn't allow you to just enjoy something. Sure, so I certainly enjoy it, but at the same time, you're enjoying it and you're thinking. And that, my friends, is a hell of a good combination for a sci-fi or any show. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye from Babylon 5. So friends, as is our purview here, we are the Greek chorus. We watch the show. We tell others about the show. We are a vital import to the narrative as it is being presented. So our boon, each and every time we watch an episode, is to say goodbye from somewhere within the episode. And so, because this episode and topic is a little off-putting, it's a little, I don't feel like I'm on solid ground. I feel like I'm having to think too much to watch this. I'm going to continue with that feeling, friends, because we're going back in time a little bit before the Home Guard is captured, while all of these attacks are going on. And all of us, you, me, everyone that's watching right now, we are aliens on Babylon 5, and we are all alone as we walk through Green Sector, where it's supposed to be safe, but it's not anymore. There's something around every corner, just like there's another episode coming up where we can only see where this great tale takes us. Until we get such time to watch that, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.